Kathopanishad belongs to Yajurveda, as I mentioned earlier. Yajurveda is having two branches. One is the Krishna Yajurveda and Sukla Yajurveda. This falls in the Krishna Yajurveda. So that is the backdrop before I commence the actual or sharing the nuggets of wisdom incorporated in this Upanishadic literature. The procedure is said, there is a Santi Patha, Santi Mantra for everything, for any Upanishad. And it varies from Upanishad to Upanishad. For this particular Upanishad, there is a Santi Mantra which I chant now. You can also close your eyes and remember the Ishtadevata of the words. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shantihi Shantihi Shantihi. For a layman, he cannot comprehend the meaning of it. Why 3 times Santi is chanted? See, when we take up a noble task of learning or imbibing or assimilating the supreme knowledge, there may be obstacles or impediments. So, the obstacles may be from our inner self itself. Why we should listen to this? Egoism comes, So that should be subsided. That is Santi. To ward off the obstructions emanating from your individual self, laziness, lethargy, jealousy. All these things are, they are there in every individual, but the proportion varies. So we are giving a signal. Now you please keep quiet. The second Santi Mantra is, the impediments may come from our neighborhood also. So we are saying that is also Santi, be peaceful. Now there are certain reasons or impediments which are beyond our control, like a lightning may occur, a tsunami may occur, or an earthquake may occur. They are beyond our control. That is also Santi. So the significance of chanting 3 times Santi Mantra is that Om Shantihi, Shantihi, Shantihi. Visargas must be pronounced. But when you pronounce at a stretch, you can call it Shantis, Shantis, Shantihi. Now, why this prefix of Om? Om is the only monosyllable to denote the God, according to our Upanishadic literature. Even in Bhagavad Gita says, Pranava Sarva Vedeshu. I am the Pranava among the Vedas. So, this is what is the broad outlook of the Veda and Upanishads. What is Upanishad? Upa means Sad. Upa means near. Nishad means sitting. What is that sitting? Sitting near the source of knowledge. Who is passing this knowledge? Guru is passing on this knowledge. So when you sit at the lotus feet of the Guru, you are getting this supreme profound knowledge that is called Upanishad. There is another meaning for Upanishad, means it destroys, it annihilates, it removes the ignorance. People are suffering from ignorance because of this egoism, Mano buddhi ahankara chittadinaham, manasu buddhi chitta ahankara, some may be listening, but still the mind says, why you should listen this? It's a waste of time. Let us have that piece of cake and walk away. See, this mind is, very turbulent and it goes on acting dynamically. So, in order to bring the mind to rest, you have to chant these Santi Mantras. So the Upanishad destroys the ignorance. Ignorance is there in every individual. It varies from person to person according to his samskaras. What is samskara? Samskaras are fine impressions on your mind. When you do an action, you are having a samskara in your mind. When you do good actions, good impressions. When you do evil things, evil impressions. A robber is a highway robbery is not created on one day. There are certain impressions in his mind. When he was doing this, when he repeatedly done actions, lead to habits. Habits make the character, and character takes to the destiny. So the Upanishad is to refine the individual from inside. So this is what is called, pratyanmukha, paronmukha. When somebody is not listening, the teacher says, paranmukha, you are paranmukha. Means he is always outward. Now this knowledge requires pratyanmukha. See inside what is happening. So this Upanishad knowledge is also called as pratyanmukha knowledge. So here the Max Miller has done a lot of work, research on the Upanishads and Vedas. You may be surprised to know that he learned Sanskrit, translated the entire voluminous Rigveda, sat in Oxford University, and he has written a beautiful commentary. It is astounding that such a system as the Vedanta have been elaborated by the indefatigable and intrepid thinkers of India thousands of years ago. That is the tribute he is paying to our Upanishadic literature. So it annihilates ignorance, and these Upanishads are also called as Vedanta. What is Vedanta? Anta means end. Means the Veda is having 3 chapters, mantras, samhitas and aranyakas. In the aranyaka part, you get this Upanishadic knowledge. Mantra and samhitas are ritualistic. They always talk about how to worship, with what flowers, what mantras to be chanted, how the yajna has to be performed and all that. So the knowledge part comes in Upanishads. That's why they are called as Vedanta. So I have given a brief outline before entering into the Kathopanishad. When it unfolds, when I chant the slokas and give the meaning of it, you will be exhilarated, you will be excited that is our legacy, our cultural legacy, spiritual legacy that we have forgotten conveniently because we are more in aparavidya. One disciple goes to a guru and asks him, kasmin bhagavato vijnatam sarva vijnatam bhavatiti. He is questioning. Kasmin bhagavato vijnanam sarva vijnatam bhavatiti. By knowing which knowledge, I can know the entire knowledge. He is putting that question. Kasmin bhagavato vijnanam sarva vijnatam bhavatiti. That is the Upanishad knowledge. If you know this, you can know everything. It's like, Shankaracharya used to say, it is like an elephant footprint. In elephant footprint, all the animals' footprints can be easily located and still you find a place there. Means it is all inclusive knowledge. So when Swami Vivekananda has given extempore lecture in Chicago conference in the same month of September 11th in 1893, he chanted the slokas from Upanishads and gave a wonderful meaning in a very powerful language, and Americans were enthralled. The whole auditorium is reverberating with applause when Swami Vivekananda. He quoted one from Svetasvatara Upanishad, which our friend Ganapati is there. We have learnt it online, Svetasvatara Upanishad. He used to chant those slokas. See, there is a lot of knowledge available. So this is Bertrand Russell says that increase of knowledge should also increase the wisdom. Otherwise, increase of knowledge will create sorrow. we are suffering from sorrow because the knowledge, we are only dipping into the knowledge. We only in aparavidya, materialistic things. The Upanishad says that you have to have aparavidya and paravidya also. But you balance like the two wings of a bird. When the flight is, it soars high into the sky. There is no, if you move only one wing, what happens? That is called pakshavata. Paksha means rekka. Paksha means, wing of a bird. Pakshavata means you are only materialistic always. You have forgotten to use the spiritual part of it. So to have a holistic life, this Upanishadic knowledge is very helpful. So Katha Upanishad is very beautiful. When this subject was broached to Sadasivara, he felt so elated and he was giving some outline of the story also. I congratulated him, at least he's knowing a bit of it. And maybe you are knowing completely also. So I am very fortunate to address you on this very profound knowledge. Time is not the restriction. If you feel like if it's not palatable to you, we can close it in 10 minutes. That's not the problem. But you rarely get this opportunity, not only you, me also, to peep into this knowledge, wonderful knowledge. So it comes in the form of a story. Storytelling is a great art. The first leadership trait is he must be able to tell the difficult concepts in the form of a story. Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa is a good storyteller. That's what's called parables. In parables, he said, one disciple came and asked me how to realize, how to meditate and all that. And you explain. He gave a parable, small. A salt idol tied to a rope, and it was to measure the depth of the ocean, this salt idol was immersed. After some time, when the rope was removed, the idol was not there. It was immersed. This Jivatma is uniting with the Paramatma. You are the drop of an ocean and the ocean is the Paramatma. So this is what is called Jiva Brahmaikya Samdhanamu. This is a very profound knowledge and it gives you a lot of vigor, vitality to face the vicissitudes of life, challenging circumstances. How Vivekananda could go alone to Chicago in 1893, about 130 years, traveling for 3 months in a ship, uninvited guest there. Then he was, when landed at Chicago, they said postponed. Then he went to Boston because cost of living is cheaper there. So why I am telling this anecdote is that Upanishads, he says, Upanishads have given me the power, the strength. And in the open meeting he said, Uttishta Jagrata Prapya Varanni Bodhata. This is from Kathopanishad only. Uttishta, arise. Jagrata, awake. Prapya Varanni Bodhata, stop not till the goal is reached. This was heard by the people in India when it was acclaimed. And the next day, New York Guardian paper has published that is a cyclonic monk from India. Cyclonic monk from India. After listening to Swami Vivekananda, we realize how foolish it is to send our missionaries to India to convert them into Christianity. Instead, we should request them to come and address, to expand our look towards religion. So this how we could come, he says that is the Upanishadic literature only helped me. Now this starts with a story. Before proceeding to that story, I want to offer my salutations to Goddess Saraswati. That is my practice. Suklam Brahma Vichara Sara Paramam Adyam Jagadvyapinim Veena Pustakadharinim Abhayadam Jadyandhakarapaham हस्ते स्फाटिकमालिकां विदधतीं पद्मासने संस्थितां वन्दे तां परमेश्वरीं भगवतीं बुद्धिप्रदां शारदाम्. It is a Vedic chant of Goddess Saraswati. Why I want to share this beautiful sloka is Brahma Vichara Sara Paramam. The essence of the supreme knowledge is Saraswati. Brahma Vichara. That is the Sara. So, iconography says you use the form and all that. But actually Saraswati means embodiment of knowledge. So, this knowledge, Upanishadic knowledge, say in while chanting, the goddess prayer, Upanishad Udyana Viharinim, he says, the goddess moves in the garden of Upanishads. So, after saluting, after submitting my respects to Goddess Saraswati, to her lotus feet, now I proceed to the story of this Upanishad, which is very, very interesting, thrilling and exciting also. There is one person by name Vajasravasa. His name is Vajasravasa. He has conducted one yajna. That yajna name is called Viswajit. What is yajna? Yajna means sacrifice. There is no synonymous words in English language to the Sanskrit. That is inadequacy of English is there in understanding this. This is yajna. Annad bhavanti parjanyad anna sambhavaha yajnat karma brahmodbhavam. Karma, whatever you do is a yajna, Bhagavad Gita says. If you are doing, achieving your job, you are doing a yajna in constructing the buildings. How effectively you do that, how committedly you do that, on that depends on the fruits of the action. Suppose it's a doctor or a professor or whoever it may be, in any walk of life you are doing a yajna. You should understand that. So people, most of the time you are going into the superficial structure of conducting rituals and all that. Upanishad says, okay, you do that, but you come to the knowledge part of it. So, knowledge means here wisdom. This story is when Vajasravasa was conducting this yajna, he has to give in charity. When he was giving charity, everything what he has gained, he has to give it in charity, dhanam. And it has to be given in with Shraddha. There is one Upanishad which talks about how to give the danas also. That is in the Taittiriya Upanishad. Shraddhaya deyam, asraddhaya deyam, priya deyam, dhiya deyam, kriya deyam. See, when you open those books, when you start reading, you will get elated. It elevates you. Our spiritual knowledge elevates you. How the elevation has taken place, we will see in the story. Now, when he is passing on, generally cows are used to be given as a donation. Because there was no currency, that was a barter system only. So cows, 10 cows, 12 cows, like that he was going on giving. He was having a small lad of 6 years by name Nachiketa. He is a brahmachari. So he was observing when these cows are being donated, many people are coming. As a donor he is going on giving. So a stage has come where he is donating a batch of cows which are very weak, which cannot even chew the grass, who cannot yield milk also. So this boy, observing his father, this yajna has to be done with Shraddha, donation has to be given with Shraddha. It's not like this, you throw 1 rupee coin, I have given donation. You have to give. You have to give with earnestness, and you should thank the person who is receiving the donation that because of you I am able to give the donation, and you should thank God also. You are in a position, in a capacity to share your wealth to others. So that is the part. Now this lad observed there is a lot of Shraddha in him because he studied in Gurukula about the Shraddha aspect in Taittiriya. So if he gives these emaciated, weak cows, what is the purpose of giving this donation? So he said, he went to his father and said, to whom you are giving to me? To whom you are donating me? One time, second time, third time. So when children obstruct in our doing of a work, we said, you keep aside, keep aside. He asked him, keep aside, keep aside. Then the third and fourth time when he said, I am giving you to God of death, he said, Mrutyum dadami. Just in that fit of anger. So he said. So the next moment, because he was having Shraddha, the next moment he was at the doorstep of Yama. Yama was not there, he was out of headquarters. Don't question me why he has been left, because he goes to, he might have gone to Brahma to have, latest amendments to be made in his death penalties or whatever may be, or what new types of how to punish a cyber crime fellow, that's not there in his syllabus. So he might have gone there. You can think like that. So as a result, he was waiting at the doorstep. Yama's family members as well as Chitragupta looked at him. But Chitragupta was not having the courage to invite him because he was not supposed to arrive at that time. So he said, if I yellow, the boss may be angry on me, so it's let us be like a cat on ball. Some of us do, neither this way that. So he kept quiet. So as a result, for 3 days and 3 nights, Asnan means eating. Now what Nagaswara garu is doing this Asnan cake. So Asnan, you are all Asnan. Anasnan means not eating. Anasnan, 3 Divaratrau, 2, 3 is waited. He never asked anybody, because this Grahastha is not allowing me, I will wait. So Yama has come on the 4th day morning, he observed him. He looked at Chitragupta, why this fellow was not allowed inside, means he said he was not supposed to, he is not scheduled to arrive. So he invited him inside, and it is a sin for a Grahastha to keep a guest waiting without food and water even. So in view of that, I am giving you 3 boons, 3 varas. You please choose. So what is the first boon chosen by this lad of Nachiketa is that when you send me back to the earth, let my father receive me peacefully with a composed mind and show me the same affection as earlier he was doing. Prashanta manasa, he says, peaceful mind. Okay, granted. So the Upanishad requires a lot of explanation also, because intelligently he has asked 2 boons in that. Because he is saying you will send me back and my father will receive me. He has not asked another boon for send me back, that was indiscreet there. So then the second boon, what do you want? So in our planet, a lot of yajnas are being conducted. There is variation from person to person and all that. So, you please tell me, you are a Dharmaraja, you are the authority on this. This is what is called, yajna is also called Agni Karya, Agni. So, how to do this? You please tell me. Then he said about the procedure how yajna has to be conducted. And the listener must be, enthusiastic first of all. If you are enthusiastic only, I can proceed. So enthusiasm, utsaham sahasam dhairyam, buddhi shakti parakramaha, shadete yatra tishthanti, tatra devosi tishtati. The Swami Vivekananda used it. If these 6 qualities are there, God will come and sit there. What are those the qualities? The first quality is utsaham, enthu. If there is no enthusiasm, there is no life. You cannot enjoy the life, I should have an enthusiasm to come and give a lecture on Kathopanishad. You too should have an enthusiasm to listen it. If there is no enthusiasm, it is an empty formality. We look at the watch, time is over, we will go away. For this, people used to go hundreds of miles on walk and sit at the feet of the Guru to listen to this knowledge. So what happened? In the second vara is how to perform yajna. That is what is called SOP, Standard Operating Procedure. Yama has given to Nachiketa. Nachiketa said, he was earnest in listening. He said, Lord Yama, I am very thankful to you, grateful to you. You have conveyed this great knowledge. Have I received it properly? Let me repeat and tell you. So when I address the faculty in development programs, I give this example. So the listener should be able to tell back what is told, So he said he chanted back verbatim without any error. Emma was damn pleased. A Shishya must be like Nachiketa, enthusiastic and able to assimilate it and reproduce it. So, as a result, I am giving another boon to you as a bonus. Bonus system is also there, incentive scheme is there, not in RTC, in Upanishad also. What is that incentive I am providing, From henceforth, on the earth, this yajna firework is called as Nachiketa Agni. So if anybody is understanding this, you can, when the Ritviks are conducting yajna, this is called Nachiketa Agni, the eternal name given to you. And he was having a diamond studded necklace around his neck, and he said, you please receive this as an incentive. He kept around his neck. Second is over. So what is this, the Upanishadic seer conveying is, there must be a burning ambition, first of all, to seek this knowledge. It's not like, some aparavidyas. You learn Nagat, you do and all that. You should have that innate urge to learn, burning ambition. And you should have faith on that knowledge. That is what is called unwavering faith. And you should have a firm resolve. That is what is called a dogged determination. All these 3 qualities which a student should possess are possessed by Nachiketa. And he pleased the god of death, See, many people are afraid of discussing about death. But this Upanishad, you start discussing about death, then you will be fearless when death comes to you. So what a wonderful statement it is that comes in the next, in the third part of it. Now, there is one woman by Ella Wheeler Wilcox. She listened to these Upanishadic teachings. We went out of curiosity, and before we had been 10 minutes in the audience, we felt ourselves lifted up into an atmosphere so vital, so wonderful, that we sat spellbound, breathless to the end of the lecture. An American, breathless. That is the power of Upanishad. It cast a spell on the audience. Now what is this third boon? That comes, I repeat this sloka. This is a musical. This Upanishad is also very musical. When you please, I suggest you, if you are really interested, you can take a book of Kathopanishad. In the Ramakrishna Math, there is a book, Message of Upanishads, written by Swami Ranganathananda, in which he has covered this Kathopanishad. Yama asked to choose his third boon. Then the third boon is very, very relevant, and it is the core of the Upanishad. Yeyam prete vichikitsa manushe. When a man dies, there is a doubt. When a man dies, there is a doubt. Some say he exists. Others say that he does not exist. This I should like to know from you. Now when say he shed the mortal coil, when he says, where he has gone? Where he has gone? Somebody died, you get a phone call, some Mr. X died, you receive a message. Then immediately ring up and say, where is the body? Till yesterday he was having a name. Now when the breath has gone out of that, it has become body. Katte akkadundi ani adugutam, katte. Kattelo. So there is a doubt. Then Yama says, he says like this, astiti eke nayam astiti chaike. Asti means existence. Nayam astiti means no existence. When you die, what happens? This is what is called Atma Vidya. Atma Vidya. This Kathopanishad is very important because of this Atma Vidya. So this I should like to know on being taught by you. This is very, now I think we are going into the core element of it. He says, you don't ask this question, my dear young boy. Please don't ask this question. Even gods are also, don't show interest in that. Man takes birth, enjoys life, and he leaves the body. Why do you ask that question? It's a very complicated thing. Then Nachiketa says, I want that knowledge which is complicated. I want that knowledge which is aspired by the gods even. Then the Atma Vidya starts in that, But many people, then he says, you enjoy the playful things. I will give you a lot of gold, I will give you a lot of horses, I will give you a lot of elephants. He created that. See this herd of elephants, see horses, see chariots, see gold, see wealth. You enjoy with this thing, but don't ask this question. Nachiketa says, I don't want this, I want to know that particular knowledge. Then Yama says, finally, I will allow you to live youthfully as long as you want. You can rule the entire earth for the time period you choose. Then Nachiketa asks, after the time period, shall I come into your pasha or not? Yama pasha. He says, that is definite, that is sure. Means who are all present here, after 10 years we conduct a meeting, I think some 10 wickets may not be there. What happened? We are laughing, we are eating, we are See, this knowledge if you gain, you can face the death fearlessly. Then he says, the Nachiketa was undaunted. He was so courageous. He says to Yama, if you don't give the knowledge, you are breaking your promise. All these horses, all these dancing birds, all these, material things you are showing to me, you keep it with you. But you are breaking your promise. If you don't give this, I don't want to leave you. If you give that and keep your promise. What is the significance of this? Means Yama lured him. Yama tempted him with all this. A person who cannot resist from temptations cannot come to this knowledge. So he says, avidyayam antare vartamanaha, people will be always in avidya. Kananivani nutaguni kananivadu visishta vastuvul kanani bhangi. Karmamulu gaikoni kondaru karmabadhulai kanaru. Kondarata kanduru akinchana vaishnavangri samsthana rajobhishiktulahu samhrta karmulu danaveshwara. Even Bhagavatam is also an Upanishadic saying. So he says, Prahlada says to Hiranyakasipa that Kananivani, a blind man taking the help of another blind man searching for an unknown thing in the forest. It is like that. If you go to a person who does not know the knowledge or who knows only a part of the knowledge, it is like a blind man going to a blind man. So many people are like that, and you are not a blind person. You are intelligent. You are questioning, so I am giving you. So they are called mudhas. Foolish people. Foolish people. Go on amassing wealth. Wealth is required to conduct your life activities. But go on amassing wealth. What happens? They will be stored there and you leave the body and somebody will look into the deeds to whom he has written, this is the call going on. So that does not mean you don't earn money. You earn money to the extent it is sufficient to carry out your responsibilities as a grihastha. So here he says, this is sravanayapi bahubhiryo nalabhyaha. It is not available to many people, this knowledge. And even if the people listen, it is very difficult to assimilate. But then very, very difficult to assimilate, then why you are telling? The sages wanted, there may be one person among 100 who require this knowledge. So he says, he talks about the real nature of the Atman. The Atman is, incidentally, this is the Shraddha, Pitru Shraddha Karyas are commenced now. Pitru Paksham now. Now the fag end of the sloka you get, this should be chanted in Shraddha Karya, it is there. What is done with Shraddha is called Shraddha. See, immediately after Ganesh Chaturthi, we have got Pitru Karya, Pitru Paksha. Means you are grateful to your ancestors, your grandfather, so grateful. No, immediately the first festival is Pitru Karyas. Then comes your Dasra, then comes your Diwali. See the cultural heritage of India. But we are only immersed in doing the superficial things. But if you go and understand and imbibe that spirit, you will realize it. Sarve Vedayat Padamananti. Now he comes to the text of it. Tapangsi Sarvani cha Yadvacharanti Yadichanto Brahmacharyam Tadmanti Tatte Padam Sangrahena Bravimi Om Ityetat. Om is telling about the Pranava Upasana. Any ritual you do know, you have to prefix it with Om. Om Namah Shivaya. You don't chant it as Namah Shivaya. You don't chant it Namo Narayanaya. You chant it Om Namo Narayanaya. You don't say Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. You say Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. What is the significance of Om? Om is the monosyllable which indicates the Paramatman. There is one Upanishad by name Mandukya Upanishad. Om is having A, Vu, Ma. A for the awakened state, Jagradavastha. U for, the three stages are there, awakened stage, and deep sleep stage and dream stage are there. The Western philosophers are overwhelmed to look at this. No, we don't have this type of knowledge with us. You are existing in one of these phases. You are now awakened stage. You are not in neither in dream nor in deep sleep, sushupti. So, Om connotes that this is, Om covers all these things. When you sit, that's the meditation part comes now. So when you sit, you chant the name Om, 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 Akara, Ukara, Makara. You have to take the breath from the umbilical cord, this area, and you inhale the air and you exhale when you say A is the origin, U is the expansion, M, you closed it. Means Srishti, Sthiti, Laya, if it had to be explained in one word, that is Om. So he says, Om, he says, that etadyevaksharam brahma, he says that is the Brahman. Etadyeksharam jnatva yadichante, you get all your wishes fulfilled if you do it in a systematic manner with the right conduct, Many people come, I chanted the Gayatri Mantra 1,000 times, fruits are coming out. But it should be clubbed with your right conduct also, You do all evil things and I chant Om, Burbo, Swa, it's no use. That is what Upanishad says, self-discipline is required, self-discipline. So then comes a beautiful, you will be impressed with this. So he says, the body is the chariot. Atmanam radhinam vidhi. Sariram radhamevatu. Your body is the chariot. And the chariot rider is the Atma. And what are the horses? Your indriyas, your sense organs. The sense organs are to be controlled by your mind. Pragraham, manah pragrahamevacha, your mind. If you don't hold the reins properly, your sense organs will go on, towards the materialistic objects, materialism. So what happens? Your mind is always turbid. Your mind is always in complex, flux. So in order to control your mind, in order to control your sense organs, your mind must be peaceful. And mind is controlled by buddhi, intellect. So, buddhim to saradhim vidhi. Saradhi is buddhi. Mind is the reins. Horses are the sense organs. Whoever controls the sense organs effectively through the mind equipment, through reasoning ability which is there in the buddhi, then the life journey will be peaceful. That's what I said, in our, when I gave a small note on that, complexities of life, how you can face them. How to face the challenging circumstances, the Upanishadic logic gives it. So, you should have this ability, what is called the ability to control your mind. The ability to control your mind will come when you have nitya nitya vastu viveka jnana. What is transient, what is permanent? Nitya, anitya. Nitya is your, soul, your spirit. It comes, the knowledge of the spirit is called spiritual knowledge. So, so when you don't control your mind, when you allow the sense organs to do as they like, it overtakes the mind, it overtakes the buddhi. That's why our people say, elders used to say, Erani buddhi geddirinda antaru. Buddhi is the decision. Whether I can behave like this or not. When you can't behave as you like in a forum like this. So some people, they don't have control over the senses. That has to be controlled by the mind. Mind has to be guided by the buddhi. But all these equipment is getting energy from your inner consciousness. That is what is called consciousness, awareness, consciousness. You have consciousness. Otherwise you can't listen. A person sapped of consciousness is a dead body. Consciousness. So you have an individual consciousness. Universe is having a universal consciousness. The yoga is to connecting them. So when you sit in meditation, you say everything around you is also the manifestation of God, and the representation of God is there as a Chaitanya within me. Then what happens? You are an Amsha of the Vishwa. So individual consciousness and universal consciousness, he talks about this in this also. Esha sarveshu bhuteshu gudho atmana prakasate. Gudha means secret. This effulgence is there within you. But mudha, a fool, cannot come to it. Because his indriyas, his body, his equipment, his mind are always preoccupied with material things. He cannot come to the spiritual this thing. That what Bhagavad Gita says, Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschidya tati siddhaye yatatamapi siddhanam kaschin mam veti tattvataha. There are thousands of people, only one out of the 1,000 will come to this path. So this is the path you have to reach, ultimate aim, the purpose of life. So, imam paramam guhyam, this is a very secret knowledge I am giving to you. Now, I don't take much time because I am seeing certain indications. Because that is not anybody's problem, to even me also. Even you have sipped a cup of tea and enjoyed but I am not having, because if I do that, I may not progress in this. So highlights I want to give you this quest for meaning. What is the meaning of your life? Getting name and fame, getting degrees. Yavat pavanau nivasati dehe tavat pruchati kusalam gehe. Gatapati vayau deha paye bharya bibhyati tasmin kaye. Shankara says in Bhajagovinda. So far as this breath works, inhalation and exhalation, I am having this big house, this big bungalow, I am having a title, I am having so many cars, latest car, Morris. But when the breath goes away, they remain here, you don't know where you are going. Gatapati vayau deha paye. He says, even wife also is bibhyati. Even wife is also, dumbstrucken. She, after weeping and weeping, the kith and kin, the children and all that, they will be inquiring when this body will be removed. The body which has given you the wealth, the position, the status in the society, now what happened? So you realize that death is inevitable. So one good saying is there, taxes and death are inevitable. You may not be paying income tax, but you are paying GST and everything you pay. Even this cake also having GST. So death and taxes are inevitable. So why you postpone about discussing death? Socrates used to ask, Socratic philosophy is to questioning, what happens to death? So when he was questioning the Greek emperor monarch, he felt when people are knowledgeable, there will be a problem for him. So people should be always in illiteracy, they should be ignorant people, then he can rule over them. So he said, put him in prison and administer hemlock juice. Hemlock juice is the root juice administered for a person who is awarded with a death sentence. When you drink it, it dies instantaneously. So next day he has to drink. The silver vessel is ready, hemlock juice is ready. By the morning sunrise, it will be given to him. But Socrates is smiling at looking at that. Then there is one person by name Crito, his disciple. Crito is so tears and all that, So, why you are weeping, he said, Socrates. My dear Crito, why you are weeping? Sir, you are such a great genius, gave a lot of knowledge. Tomorrow you will not be there, you will be out. You drink that and you go away. Okay, wipe your tears, I go away. Nothing happens to the world if I go away. Then, sir, one small question, sir. What is that? Shall I bury you or burn you? Shall I bury you or burn you? Socrates smiled at him. Crito, you have not understood the real me. You have not understood the real me in spite of my preaching about it. You have not caught the real me. Okay, if you want to do with my body, you do as you like. But you please understand that spirit remains immortal. So, in Greek philosophy, only to match up our rishis' knowledge on spirit, only Socrates comes to that extent only. No other preacher in any religion has come to that level. Even it was stated by Kant. Kant is a German philosopher. Paul Giusen is a German philosopher. Max Muller, Will Durant. The list is endless who are praising this knowledge. This gives you inner strength. Inner strength. What happens when death comes? I was there. Is it fair or not? I don't know. To cite my own example, I was there on ventilator for 3 days. I have gone to the doorstep of Yama and come back. And my CT surgeon, Satya used to ask me, you are not so worrisome, whereas other beds they are so worried, their kith and kin. I said, see, the body has to go. I am in the hands of a good cardiac thoracic surgeon. You are doing. So 8 hours surgery. So the inner strength comes from this Bhagavad Gita and Upanishadic knowledge, spiritual knowledge. Okay, if I am destined to die, I will die. So that inner strength and courage. So don't be afraid of any ailments you are having. Many people are having ailments, don't need it come. But instead of that, fill these ideas, this knowledge into your brain cells so that you can face that difficult situation. Some people die with Om Namah Shivaya dies. Vivekananda says there was one lady, elderly lady admitted in Calcutta hospital, and people are looking at her. He was there for 15 days, everybody was coming. At the last moment, because she was an ardent devotee of Ramakrishna, he said, the nurse, you send all these people outside. I want to die peacefully. Then he rose from her bed and said, Jai Sri Ramakrishna, and fallen down. She left. So a spiritual knowledge is also essential. That is understanding the death. Understanding the death. You make a lot of, you for a small departure to Varanasi, for small departure to Delhi, you make a lot of arrangements, which suitcase you have to carry, what clothes you have to wear. But for your final departure, are you ready? Kathopanishad asks this question to every one of us. Are you ready for your final departure? The final departure, our spiritual knowledge says we have rebirths. And there is one person by name W. Banerjee in Calcutta who has conducted research and gave so many examples. So how Mangalampalli Balamulli Krishna at the age of 6 years can conduct a recital, vocal recital? Same children born to the same parents, one is highly educated, one is illiterate. One is black and one is grey. See, this is all, the rebirth, we don't go into that action, but you should, our faith says that is the rebirth, and the rebirth will be determined by the past actions of your previous birth. Vayur Gandhani Vasayat, Bhagavad Gita says, if you put jasmine flowers in your handkerchief and the jasmine flowers are removed, but you take this handkerchief, jasmine smell will come. Similarly, like smell acting from the flowers, your samskaras will be carried to the next birth. If you are rich, if you are knowledgeable, it is because of your past actions. You have done something great, something good. But this punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, This cycle, this cycle can be broken when you realize your inner self. Brahmaloke mahiyate. That is, there is no this ordeal of going round and that's punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jathare seinam. So for that you have to realize the inner divinity. That can be done through meditation. That meditation part is also given, but I don't want to go dwell deep into that. So meditation, it advocates meditation and introspection. Sit a while, introspect. For what? Kastvam koham keardha vedaha kuto jata iyam srushtihi. Who am I? Who are you? Why you have come on this planet? Just to beget children? Just to do work in RTC in sending buses or constructing buildings or amassing wealth? That is the only purpose? Question yourself. Is it giving happiness? Oh, it is giving happiness to the extent, to some extent. But if you realize your inner divinity, that is thousands and thousand times greater than this happiness. That is what is called, Brahmananda. Brahmanandam paramasukadam kevalam jnanamurtim dvandvatitam gagana sadrusam tattvamasyavilaksham ekam nityam amalam achalam. This is told by this same content of Kathopanishad is given by Lord Shiva also in Dakshinamurti Stotra. Mauna Vyakhya. See, the Mauna Vyakhya prakatita parabrahma tattvam yuvan. Parabrahma tattvam. That's what says, you are potentially divine. When American wanted to prostrate before Swami Vivekananda, every soul is potentially divine. Our people say I am a born sinner, whereas you are saying I am a divine person. This is fantastic, It's like sending electricity into my body. Our people are condemning me, taking birth out of sin, of Adam and Eve eating an apple, forbidden fruit. But I am elated. He said, please rise up. Please rise up and study the Veda. Then immediately they started Vedanta societies in America, in Washington, in New York, in Detroit. There are a number of Vedanta institutes in Berlin, in Sydney, the Vedanta. Vedanta is all inclusive. It doesn't talk about the ritual, it doesn't talk about the formless God or formful God, Sagunopasana, Nirgunopasana, that's not there. So, ethical living also it teaches, ethical living. The Upanishad promotes ethical conduct and righteous living. When I teach business ethics and corporate governance for MBA students, I quote this sloka from Upanishad because there is a Sreya and Preya. Sreyascha Preyascha. Sreya means good, Preya means pleasant. It is pleasant to eat this cake. But Sreya, if I am a diabetic patient, Sreya is not to eat. So Sreya means which is good for your inner development, to nourish your inner strength. That is Sreya. Preya means temporary happiness. Oh, it's very sweet, very puffy, spongy, everything. Even one that is not that is missing here, that is there, red thing. What is that? Cherry is me. So that's very attractive. So that I should have that willpower. Small one cake is nothing, but a lot of garas, lot of sunandas, everything in festival will come. 1, 2, 3 starts. The child says, you have consumed 10, Papa. So then you should have that self-regulation, quest for meaning, inner strength, transcending materialism. Somerset Maugham has written one book by name The Razor's Edge. The Razor's Edge, if you open the cover, on the first sheet you get this sloka from Kathopanishad. He read Kathopanishad, he came to Himalayas, Somerset Maugham. The Razor's Edge, Hollywood film was also made out of it. but that was not a success. It was not a hit movie. But there is one person, Larry Dorrell, he's the protagonist of that Razor's Edge. It suggests a challenging path between spiritual enlightenment and worldly distractions. You have to choose. Shreyascha, preyascha. So many situations come to lead you to prayer. Desist from those temptations and you embrace Shreya. Then you will realize the inner self. That is the important message I want to convey and share with you. You are all learned persons. I think I have taken 10 minutes extra, but it is unending. It's, you will when you go. The last 12th canto of Bhagavatam. What is that Bhagavatam? Bhagavatam is nothing but Uttara's son. What is he? Parikshit. Parikshit. How the Parikshit name has come, do you know? Parikshit means examiner.
He was.
When he was delivered, when his mother was chanting Vishnu Sahasranama every day, because Bhishmacharya was told, because Ashwathama, the son of Drona, has used the Brahmastra, Apandava Magugaka, the whole race of Pandava to be wiped out. That was the program given to that Brahmastra. And it was searching where is Pandava's remnants. Then there was in Uttara's Garbha, this embryo is there. Then you want to attack. Then she was finding there a lot of fire happening in her belly. And you asked her, Bhishma, the message was conveyed to Bhishma said, let her chant Vishnu Sahasranama. That will. So when Vishnu Sahasranama was, see, that is only, a superficial structure that you have to understand that divinity, is all pervading and it will come to the rescue of its devotees. Satyam janahi pratihi me. Please understand, Arjuna, there is no fall for my devotees. There is no fall for my devotees. So here, this Parikshitu, because of his, conduct, he has gone to a hunting, gone to a forest and found a sage. And he asked, give me, I am thirsty, to quench my thirst, please give me water. He said he was in deep meditation because he understood Kathopanishad and he was doing meditation. Om Pranavopasana. He has never heard, he was in deep meditation. Then he said, you are in my kingdom, I am the king, you are disrespecting me. And he has seen this side and that side. When cobra was going, he hit it with a stick and the corpse of that snake he put around his neck and left that place. Danda Soka, that is called Danda Soka. Then the son of that sage came there. Who has done this to my father? He came to know that the king has visited Parikshit and he has done. See, this is what is called fate. Though he was born out of the blessing of Lord Vishnu, because of his actions, he has landed in a big problem. So he said, immediately took water and said, this person who has done this undoing, this great, disrespect to my father, let him die in 7 days. That's not. So Parikshit was Sapagrasta. Then he is an intelligent person. He said, why this has occurred to me? Then he called a meeting like this, all great people like you came and asked, what is the remedy for this? Remedy is nothing but knowing about God. Then he has gone to the Sukha Brahma, who is son of Vyasa, and then the Bhagavata starts with that. Bhagavatam starts out of that. Why I have brought this is a bearing on this Upanishad. What he says ultimately, after listening all the stories of Lord Krishna, he says, Takshakadibhyo nabibhyemyaham. Bibhya means fear. Now the death may come to me by the bite of Takshaka or by any source. I am not afraid now. I am fearless. I am fearless. There is such a conversation in Brihadaranyaka also, where there is Yajnavalkya has imparted this Upanishadic knowledge to Janaka Maharaja. Janaka is a king, is like a CEO to the kingdom. So every evening he used to go and sit with the lotus feet. So this listening to an enlightened speaker who has an experiential knowledge on the Upanishadic literature, that will elevate you. That will elevate you. So to have that elevation, Janaka used to go to that sage Yajnavalkya and used to receive. Then after listening, he said, now your Mithila is burning, go away. Let Mithila burn. I don't want to leave this place. I want to imbibe this nectar of this ambrosia of immortal knowledge. Let it burn, I don't want that. So that firm determination is required. Then he says, Yajnavalkya says, Abhayam vai praptosi Janaka. O Janaka, you have attained that fearlessness stage. Be fearless. So Swami Vivekananda says, be fearless, stop not till the goal reached. This is all from this Kathopanishad. So I have not gone very deep into that. I have given only a broad outlook of it.